So hello and good evening. Welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live here from the Full Speed Events studios. We're in the old Beer Cellar studios, deep underground, and we are getting ready for what should be a cracker of a WoW DCG, a women-only Wednesdays Donny Chaingang. Now, we have had a cracking week so far. Great ride yesterday on Innsbruck Ring, on the open chain ring, and on the open chain ring, on the open chain gang. Even put your teeth in, Matt. It's always good to know exactly where you've been on this, Gov. It was an absolute flyer, and of the 5 laps, the Go went at the end of lap 3, so 2 full laps of the circuit. That was very, very rough indeed, and a great finish on there. Make sure you have a watch back on that. It is, of course, part of Continental February, and got the bottle already. It does get some serious use. You can see already it's been out quite a lot. Use this regularly, one of the regular ones, but of course full of OTE goodness in there. And one of our regular riders on the Donny Chaingang supporters club going to be winning some of these. Plus, just as importantly, a number of our riders going to be winning some amazing pairs of tyres. They are brand new. They are yet to be launched. They are not public knowledge. I can't tell you about them. Members, look out for your emails at the weekend. Now, we are 4 minutes to the start of the Chain Gang proper. I've got to say a massive thank you to all of the guys just up there who look after the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chain Gang Supporters Club. Without them, it just doesn't happen. And a big thank you to everybody who helps make it possible. It does take a lot of work behind the scenes, and there's a lot of people helping just to make it happen, from James Swift right the way through to all the team and all of our beacons who are busy. And without further ado, let's go tell you where we're going and where our beacon is going to be taking you. So let's head on to the route. So our route tonight is triple flat loops. It is a 39-kilometre ride in total, which means that we have a 2.4k lead in. This is from our traditional Fuego Flats Pens to the Rock Arch. We will go around the pretty much entirety of the flatlands of the Wartopian area. Now, I say that it's predominantly flat. It is really, really flat. There is not much in the way of gradient and hills today, and it means that over the complete circuit of 36.3k, when we finish at that rock arch, 134 metres. Yes, 134 metres. Now, numbers don't always mean anything, so let's put that into some kind of graphic that people can understand. It looks much like that now. It might look big, and it looks quite stretched out across there. But if you think about how steep we get at times, this is not all that steep. And courtesy of the Power of Velo Viewer, let's show you something perhaps a little bit easier to comprehend. This is the profile from start to finish. And as you can see on the 2D, we have a limited number of bumps. The first bump is in that 7.5k. That is the climb to Titan's Grove. But we cut left before we hit the climb proper. We then have the next rises out from the tunnels at 12.5k up through towards the Italian villas. We then have a repeat drop off, comes out the other side. So we go through the volcano at 15k through to about 17k. We drop down, we go back out and round. But essentially, as you can see, there is no height gain whatsoever to be worried about on the way through on triple flat loop. So it's going to be a fast one. That means that the control of Alison Kinlock, our yellow beacon, is here. So it is good to have Alison back at the reins. Alison is our yellow beacon. She has a chevron above her head. Experienced rider. You can see running the Tour Series on the left of your screens. Right of your screens, I would put you money that that was a Yorkshire Point Series or a Nationals, potentially a cross. But I wouldn't guarantee that. Might have been the Ridley cyclocross. I don't think we had as much sun there. But very, very experienced rider. Alison, of course, the regular leader on here. Now, we have almost the opposite, because it is Jan Taylor's first time as Red beacon, and just waiting for that beacon to pop up on to our screen. So Jan going to be due to do the red in there, and going to be at the back, and hopefully going to be looking after everybody on the way through. So thank you very much to our beacons, our yellow and our red beacons. Our riders are lined up and ready to go, so let's dive down indeed. And Alison just confirming that is a picture of Alison as a roadie on the at the Tour Series. So the riders ready to go, and the clock is on countdown. We've got plenty of riders on that start line tonight. Let's see how these riders roll out from here. And remember, it's all about staying around that yellow beacon. That is going to be key. So away they go. Now riders out and away, and we're going to jump in with the riders as they head out. So quick reminder for everybody. All about keeping that group together and riding together as a pack. That is going to be key today. Looks like pretty much everybody out and away. We're just going to keep a double check on those riders as they head out from the pens. Remember, there is a late join tonight as well. So just hovering above Ross here. We're just going to take a little bit of a run back through the riders. And looks like Vitley going to be the last rider out from those pens. Going to have to do some serious pushing on the mountain bike today to get in with that group. If you change actually after you join, it doesn't actually show you the correct bike on the screens, and that is definitely the key. So now riders up and away. We're going to try and jump in with our yellow beacon. Let's see if we can jump in with them. So here we go. Just working our way up to the yellow, who is somewhere round about here. We will jump in eventually. So in with Alison Kinloch. Alison is our rider charged with trying to keep the whole of the pack together as long as possible until she pulls the pin on that trigger point, and that then is the point at which it is away you head, and that's the point at which we are looking for. So looks like everybody off the line okay. We're going to take a little bit of a run back on our cameras in a moment, but it looks like almost everybody in and with the group. One or two riders just pushing to get in to the pack at the back of the group at the moment. I'm just going to take a little bit of a check back on those riders. So keys to get into that group, jump into that pack as fast as you can, and just going to see if Nesbitt can squeeze on the way through. And I'd agree, can't see red, neither can I. So looks like red issues to note in the gang. Apologies for that. So Jackie, if you're listening, watching, viewing, squeeze and jump in. It looks like Jackie just about 5 seconds off the pace, pushing at 2.5 watts per kilo here. So should in theory be able to squeeze on here as long as the group don't go mad. And it looks like the single rider at the back is going to be Jackie Nesbitt. Jackie's doing about 2.5. So it looks like Miss Cookie just volunteering to jump back to red and go and help out. So anybody feeling strong enough, feel free to jump back and give Jackie a help. Jackie, don't forget you can always jump out. The late join option, the power that you're doing, you should be able to stay in with that group. But because the group is gone, you'll be struggling to get in. So Jackie Nesbitt, Jackie, if you're watching, jump out and jump back in again. The late join option is there, and it will allow you to jump back in right up here. You need to be doing almost twice the watts per kilo of the group to get up to them. And that gap at the moment just looking like it's going out, and that is just due to the pace of the pack. That's particularly true on this route because it is just so flat. So our riders coming in to the archway The group approaching that rock arch at the moment. Just watching in with Isla Easto to come under the archway. So, when we eventually get back here, in about 32k, then going to be key. So let's have a little bit of a look. So looks like Becky Porter-James and Miss Cookie just coming back to give Jackie a hand here. This is what we want to see in the Chaingang. So should be able to give that a little bit of assistance now on the way through. Jackie's got a push on here. In fact, she's absolutely rocketing all of a sudden. So looks like Miss Cookie and Becky Porter-James now going to pick that pace back up again. So at the moment, it's actually the red jersey Becky Porter-James, along with Miss Cookie, who are rolling the way up to awards. We've got 11 seconds to make up, so do need that group to stay pretty steady at the moment. It's great to see our riders jumping in and assisting at the back. Really important that the group all helps each other on the way through. So, quick reminder of the format of the ride. Basically, the yellow beacon controls that pace. They shout the shots. The riders then get to keep the pace of that yellow beacon. When the yellow beacon pulls the pin, presses the plunger, and any other euphemism, stroke, something you want, that is when the riders go in. So, jump in with the group. Ride with that group, make the most of the group. The pace will hot up as the evening goes on. At the point of that plunger being pulled, at that trigger point, that is when the group will then be left to its own devices. The limiters are off until that point. The aim is to stay around yellow. So just keeping a check. I think Miss Cookie just on her way into the back of the group here. Just taking a look. There she comes. So Miss Cookie, the rider who has been out and helping, just making her way back into the pack. So it looks like the group coming back in together again. We do have two new riders off the front who have disappeared off down the road. There we've already had the private message heading in our direction, which means the front of our group, technically, as we would always describe it, is going to be here. Looks like Jackie. Let's fit, jumping in with the group. Nice work, Jackie. Brilliant. Got back in, jumped into the group. Looks like the desert coming into flower, just the right time here for the group. The pace ticking along nicely at the moment, and the group all well together. So get everybody warmed up and rolling here on the Chaingang. Nice pack of riders on the way through. I'm loving the vibe. Becky Porter-James. Why do I think I'm doing that? I've got ugly blood red in a warm-up. Yeah, don't be doing that. No, stretching your legs out, doing a proper warm-up, always important whether you're on the Chaingang or riding solo, or you're out in the world, or you riding around a velodrome. Always very, very key. So the gang are rolling through. We're into the main section of Oasis in the grounds here. This is just in the middle of the desert, just nicely in the gorge, and as you can see, there is definitely the waterfall. Looks like the rainbow on the waterfall is out already, with the rain that's coming down, and the water that's coming down in the spray. A very nice little place to be. I'm loving the riders already saying who's got tired legs tonight. I think a lot of people. There was the last race of the race league last night, and that's going to have definitely done some damage to a few legs on the way through. And good to see we've got Sandra on board. Sandra riding for the Tactic Racing, sporting the jersey, which is going to be the Scottish jersey from the Scottish events on Zwift in there. Definitely very colourful. You see that Foxy's back on board again. Foxy, none of our regular riders. I think Foxy's going to be our Yellow Beacon. Due to be our Yellow Beacon this time next week, if my memory is correct, which isn't always the case. You can see that we've got Lisa in here from the FIA team. That distinctive kit in here as well. The gang riding along really nicely here. It's pace pretty hot tonight, but pace to stay in that pack. You definitely don't want to lose the wheels tonight. Nice blobbing, as the Yellow Beacon is saying, that is for sure. Stay in those wheels. Whatever you do, make sure you squeeze on to stay with them. Sarah Postlethwaite tucked in to the group here. Looks like Ian Schull. Jane Halliwell even just tucked on the back. I'm sure it's Jane, if I've got the right Halliwell. We'll soon find out. Pretty sure we have. Let's wait for our screens to update themselves on the way through. It is Jane from Tactic. So Lisa early on board. Vicky Jones in here. We've got Sam Joe. Got Adele Suster backing. So we've got Adele back with us once again. I think Josie Park is back in with us as well. Got just tucked in to the middle of that group at the moment, as you can see. Del the rider not moving in the orange dead centre there on our cable cam. It's one of the most amazing cable cams going, because it actually manages to track our riders wherever they are. Adel's numbers at the moment, 84 Respinit, so looking good. Miss Cookie, will I manage to stay in the group for a PB? Well, you've got to stay in on the drag up towards Titans, the left-hand turn and the descent. Now, this is going to be the critical moment for a lot of our riders in the early stages here today, and that is the moment when we head in to Titans. So, at the moment, we're making our way out and through the desert. We have come from the desert in towards what is the turn. We go on to what is a slight climb, and it is a very, very slight climb. Oh, Lizzie Clark just being distanced a little bit. Come on, Lizzie, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze time. So Lizzie just squeezed away in to that group. Looks like Martha's joined us as well. You can see our riders back on board. So when we go through, we're going to go past the desert turn, and we're going to go in onto a little bit of a drag. Now, because we go straight up this drag, it's only 2-3%. It's not huge. But what happens is the group tends to string out slightly. Then we're going to drop down towards the tunnels. And because we take that turn quite quickly, anybody who leaves a gap is going to be in trouble as you go over, because you're going to get distance. There will be a gap form, and that gap will grow exponentially over the first sort of 5 to 10 seconds. Once that is in place, it's very difficult to get that back, because there is a long, fast, flat section on the way through. It drops, it flattens, it goes down. So making contact again is very difficult. So key to have that group together as we come around these turns, come into where the roundabout section is, where that turn is for when we use it for things like Tempest Fugit. We're going to climb up slightly and down. That little bit of a rise and drop, it's going to be that rise and fall going to be key to stay in the pack. Definitely not of the magnitude of a proper climb, but it is a drag out from the desert to take us in towards the tunnels. So really key to stay in the pack. The group riding though at a good pace today. The group, lots of people working. So we've got Mary O'Shea back in with us as well. Looks like Megan Boyd joining us again. Just hopefully that group just keeping together as they roll the way up and through. Looks like Marta's just being distanced a little bit here. A late joiner, Lisette. And Lisette still with the option of rejoining back in again. Remember, we have a half an hour late join. The pace will ramp up, and of course, at some point that trigger will be pulled. When that happens, then the speed limiter is well and truly off. Till that point, if in doubt, sit on the wheel of the yellow beacon. All pile on, Alison kill on, basically. That's kind of how it works. Who's watching the eSport Championships this weekend? Becky Ports James says. Not guilty. Yeah, I'm bound to watch it at some point. Might have to be on catch-up, though. So, looks like Miss Cookie just made the longest time in the group yet. Going to lift at the front to 2.5. So, I think that's going to naturally pull us into that climb. The left coming. We're currently at 8.8K, I think. So, heading for the 9K marker. Group looking good at the moment. So good to have Emma Gilbert on board. Emma had been in Partyland enjoying cake. Hope you blew out all those candles on the way through. A bit of long exercise on the way through. Miss Cookie doing baby steps. Indeed, that is for sure. And make sure you take it easy. Sarah, of course, aka Miss Cookie, on the road to recovery, and nicely doing this, taking it steady. Lots of cake for Emma Gilbert. That is fantastic. I'm not jealous much, honest, Emma. And loving the congratulations to Miss Cookie as well for staying in as long as possible. Baby steps. To be honest, Sarah, if you can make it over Titans, I reckon you'll make it to Italian Villas. That's kind of how it works on this course. It's a course we've used for the Donny Chaingang, for the Open Chaingang. It's definitely been an interesting one. And we go, but don't need to lose it all. No. Convert it to muscle. That's kind of how it works. Do that. It's fueling up for all the riding you're going to do. That's my reasoning, and I'm always going to stick to it. Okay, so our riders on the way through. Just Sinclair, Crabtree and Pip Bourne, nicely tucked in here as well. Now, this is this riser we talked about. So going up on to the climb here, 3%, and this is where, and what it needs is control, guys. Don't push too hard on the front. You don't need to be squeezing the front. The aim here to bring everybody over the top into that left-hand turn. So don't panic on the front. You will have plenty of chance to rip your legs apart later on. The group continuing to push. The continued attrition will take its toll without needing to lift too much, I suspect. We're just hitting that 10K marker at the moment. And a quick reminder, still plenty of distance to go. I'll tell you something, this group riding well at the moment. You can just see as we take our camera up over the top of the riders, that group still holding together nicely. We're going to come into the sequoias that characterise this part of Watopia. Let's drop ourselves back in. Loving the unicorn jersey. That would be the jersey of the one and only Isla Easter, which is the Socks for Watts jersey in there. And, at the moment, this group all holding position. It's Isla Easter with the Socks for Watts jersey. We'll just zoom in on that jersey. It's one of the cracking sets of kit. So Isla with the in there. I love the hashtag Aero as something or other. Flip. That'd be the word I was looking for, wouldn't it? Okay, so here we go. Let's take a little look over the top. Nicely done. Taking that left-hand turn. I'm loving Alison Kinlock's plats for what's definitely... I'd agree with that 100%. I do so. Loving the... thank you, everybody, for the couple of months on the jersey. It is good. We all know, of course, that the best jersey in the road world, which is not yet on to Zwift, is, of course, the one from Tactic UK. I do like the Fear jersey. Don't get me wrong, the Fear kit. It's very distinctive, but it's the Tactic one. Sandra McKay not able to have that on there just yet. Surely it's got to be coming. That's that group over nicely all together as they come over with Mary O'Shea. So dropping down and heading down in towards the tunnels. This group nicely tucked together. Good riding at the moment on the way down. Yeah, shout out to Sucks for What's leaders. That is Lethbridge. She's riding the Esports World Championships on Saturday. Quite a lot of the riders, as one of the riders who's been on the Chaingang, and quite a lot of the riders who we've seen in action in there. So going to be shouting for a lot of our riders from across the globe there. Lots of them on our on the Sunday Race Club that we commentate on as well. Going to be in there, and looking forward to watching that one. Looking forward to putting the words to the action. Got an 8-day esports tour coming up with a $1 million prize fund split equally between men and women. $1 million, yeah, $1 million prize fund. That's an 8-day event, and that is coming up at the end of March. It's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to putting words to the action on that. I'm going to be joined on there by Emma as well. So down the descent they go. Miss Cookie definitely on a long one. Alison has just heard the prize fund. It is, yeah, you need to follow us on our social media feeds. We won't plug it too much on a Zwift platform, but it is a huge prize fund on the tour, and if only we were being made a fraction of that. No, it's going to be a really cracking game. Really looking forward to that. We've been helping with the development of that platform and with the guys, and we've been putting words to the action for a while now, for nearly a year, in fact. And to celebrate that. No, it's not to celebrate that. It's because they want to get loads more riders on it. They've just announced an 8-day tour. It's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. And lots of money up for grabs as well. However, nothing's going to rival the Donny Chaingang. The WoW DCG and the DCG, obviously the best events in the world ever.com. Not that we're slightly biased in that, but of course we say that to all the boys. So on the way through, the riders looking good. This group nicely holding together, making the way down, coming underneath the tunnels, and taking the right-hand turn here at the big tree. This originally part of the Jarvis tree here, the original part of the world in Zwift, and Jarvis Island is actually the original name of the world that Watopia was developed from, if you go back far enough. Quite scary to think that 7 years ago I was riding on Zwift. It's a very, very scary thing. It's actually riding a lot more then as well. It's a lot quicker. Had hair too. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of me thinking about all the things that have made me bald and grey, or headed that way anyway, on the way through. A lot of fun. So there's a lot of good riding. I'm looking forward to getting out and riding. For those people who maybe weren't watching the coverage yesterday or weren't on the gang yesterday, this week we have coverage in all three of the Chaingang, so the Tuesday and Thursday Chaingang and the WoW DCG today. We're going to be doing exactly the same, if it all goes to plan, next week, but please bear in mind that we have a travel day on the Sunday, Monday. We've got to pick up some kit on the way down to the farmhouse studios down in front, so we're going to be picking up a little bit of kit on the way down and heading down to the farmhouse studios, down there. Also great riding out and round, so I might be slightly distracted, but the aim is of course to broadcast the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday chain gangs as normal from the studios there. That is the plan, choosing a travel day that doesn't interrupt, so we'll see how we go. Right. We've reached nearly 15k. I thought we were going to make 15k without somebody talking about cake, but of course we had the birthday cake nice and early conversation going on, so I don't think we even made 7k. One of these days I'm going to keep a check on how far we go before we start talking about cake. So next draggy section and next key point to stay on. This of course the run that takes us up towards downtown Watopia. So this is a key part to push and squeeze on, stay in that pack. If you're at the back, if you're on the front, chill out, relax. So up we go. Looks like the group together on the way through. I am not trying to police the cake talk at all, Becky Porter-James. Believe me, I was merely having a minor side bet about how long it would take to talk about it. Never police cake talk, apart from the fact it makes me very hungry, wanting cake. So I did have some very nice pancakes today. And that counts as cake, right? Pancake. So just watching Caroline Harvey on the way up here. Caroline still on the road to recovery, getting quicker. And on the way up. Miss Cookie and Matt, about as long as it takes you to mention the C word. I haven't said that at all. Matt on the commentary is wondering how long we can go without you. I am indeed. I will put you money that the longest time where there's no mention is once the trigger is said by our yellow beacon, because that will be the longest period without anybody talking about cake. Nearly as long. I haven't even got actually a coffee down here. It's not very well talking about coffee. I haven't actually got a coffee down in the studios. Might have had like an absolute stack of them already. I've definitely got no cake. Okay, just a little shout out to one of our riders just being distanced on the back. Ooh, let's have a little bit of a check. Looks like maybe that hill just taking a little bit of damage, doing a little bit of damage here. So one rider just, I think, feeling this is Iona Vidley, who at the moment is just being distanced a little bit here by that pace. It looks like may well need a little bit of assistance to get back on to the pack. The shout went out from the riders in front. It's a bit of a gap though. Back looks like we've got at least one breadcrumb, but the way that pace is moving, I suspect it's going to be very difficult. Put Becky Porter-James at the moment just off the group, and is going to have to really push on to get there. I don't think the way the time gap is opening up to Iona, unless Becky's planning on beaconing at the back with Iona, then she's got very long to get back into the group. So it's decision time for Becky, and I think the decision is made. Becky Porter-James going up through the Watts. Here we go. Used to call it a leg opener, Becky, instead of an aborted run backwards. I always do. So Becky just squeezing on to get back into this group, and on the run into the climb, this is a key place. This is a good spot to do it. You want to be on before you get over the top, and the group starts to accelerate off around the side of the volcano. So Becky getting back on, and in big kick there from Becky Porter-James, going through at about 6 watts per kilo. Let's just get Becky back on. She's on. It's happened. She's about 2,000 miles an hour on the way through. So So here we go. Thanks, Becky. I'm going for a picture on the wall tonight. Oh, okay. So, inspiration walls. Here we go. Good call. So, inspiration walls. Inspiration walls are things that you put up with canvases on of things that are good memories, good thoughts to make you go faster. So it might be you when you've got a really your highest position in the hill climb, national hill climb. It could be you when you were on a sprint win. It could be you on one of your favourite rides in the mountains. It could be with your best mates, sitting giggling about cake and coffee at your favourite cafe. Whatever it is that makes you smile, because fast riders are made that way because they're happy. So a happy, smiley rider will go quicker. So what do? Put something on there on the wall that's going to make you smile. And the more you smile, the faster you will go. It's a real straightforward equation. Yeah, definitely get those up on the wall. It could be now that you're on the Chaingang and Miss Cookie has managed to stay with the group this long. She's about to hit 30 minutes, which has got to be a record, I think, for Miss Cookie. Just feeling the pressure here. We just got Sharon and Miss Cookie just starting to be distanced here, but good riding here. If you don't feel like smiling, just do it. It requires less energy. There are less muscles engaged to smile than there are to frown or to pull a grumpy face. Therefore, you use less energy. Make sure you do the smiling. It does work. It's a bit like wiggling your fingers on a technical descent on a mountain bike or similar. Give your fingers a little bit of a wiggle and just shake out those nerves. So well done to Miss Cookie. Just losing touch, I think, at the moment. 30 minutes in. Come on, Sarah. Last little push in. It's only a couple of sections. I think we are going to see Sharon and Miss Cookie forming the bus. I say that because we're not far off the top of the next rise. And going over this next rise, we are going to see, it's going to go. Going to go over the top. And now, this is the key moment. If you are on the back of this group, dropping in here, you'll be able to stay with this group. If you are not on the back of this group, you're going to really feel the pressure. Sharon not on the wheels, neither is Sarah, nor is Iona. And I think that is going to be the elastic snapping. That sound you can just hear. And that means time for Sharon, Miss Cookie, Iona. Guys, you got yourselves a perfect bus there when you all get the gang back together again, I suspect. Meanwhile, on the descent, this is the leading group on the way through. We're just in with Sarah Gell at the moment. So Sam Gell. Sam, my apologies. You can be Sarah if you want to, but let's call you properly. It is Sam. So Sam, who we're following on the way through, 32 minutes in to the ride. Nicely tucked in here, making the way over the bridge. And you can see just how quick it is. If you're not on the wheels here, this is where it gets very difficult. Everybody's gone quiet because we've hit some serious speed here. Looks like Pip Morn, Adele Suster, along with, I think it's going to be Chloe Lace, just being distanced. Guys, the last push here. Come on, give it a quick kick. So Claire from the Chloe from the Isle of Man, Adele and Pip from the UK. Well, Pip's from Yorkshire, which is just about part of the UK, the Independent Republic of Yorkshire. Working well here, and I tell you something, these three riders make that four with Macassey. They could work very, very fast through here. It's got very quick, very quickly. Yeah, that's the difference generally as you work up and through into 3 watts per kilo, which is where it's got to. Now, into this descent, we've hit the increase in pace on the descent. So this is going to be key now. We're just following Pip Morn in this group of 4 riders. And if they can squeeze on here, they've got a chance, because when the front group hit the tarmac at the bottom, they will accelerate away. So just seeing Michelle Macassey just being distanced a little bit. Come on, Michelle. Squeeze on those wheels. Don't lose that group. It's going to be really key when you hit the bottom of this. That group is going to be in sight on the way through. So here they come. So Michelle Macasey of the RTR squad just dropping down from Canada at the moment, making her way in towards that section. So let's see if she's going to be able to make contact with Adela as well as Pip and Chloe. I think they're going to form a group of 4. Remember, if you do get dropped, find some riders and ride with them if at all possible. It really is key to do that on the way through. Get a group, work as a group together. So 8 seconds up the road. Looks like this is our leading group at the moment. That ramp continuing to build. We're at 20.2k. We're just heading towards the volcano, which is on the right hand side. We're going to circumnavigate that volcano and make our way in and around the volcano before heading back in and down. Here we go. The pressure is definitely coming on. I think our yellow beacon is continuing to pile the pressure on the riders at the moment. You can just see Alison winding it up to 3.5 watts per kilo here. And this is definitely ramping. It's going to be testing the riders' legs. We're just in with Michelle Ross at the moment. Doing another good ride here once again. Another of our regular riders getting that way, St. Michelle, and looking good at the moment. So Michelle coming in and through the riders to shoot that right hand turn and continue onwards. There's another ramp going to be coming. It's not all that far away at the moment, and you can just see the gang continue to push. Vicky Jones riding smart as ever in with the group, not putting the nose out into the wind too much too early. Another rider who we know has got some serious speed and pace. That group behind looks like that is going to be 16-17 seconds now, and looks like Maxie just being distance going to have Postlethwaite not all that far behind. So Sharon still chasing, then Miss Cookie, and then it's going to be Iona behind, jumping back in with our leading group though. Just rolling our way up. I'll have a quick check. Looks like Lisa Elliott in the group here in the We Are Fear kit. Absolutely cracking kit. This, I think it's just one of the best, certainly as a commentator, one of the best bits of kit, and great for team helpers as well. Easy to spot when you're racing because you can see it in the group nice and easy. And at the moment you can see Lisa nicely tucked in this pack as we spin our way up. When we take the right turn, we're going to be taking a left-hand turn very shortly, and as the pack ramps up in pace, I suspect they're going to go blatting past one of those riders who clearly didn't read the riding instructions on the way through. So up along the top we go. So whatever position you finish in on the ride, not 2 places off of whatever it says, that's going to be where you are. If these 2 finish in front, we will let you know at the end, those riders who've been caught. Now, just seeing Jackie just feeling the pressure, maybe a little bit on that climb. Come on, Jackie. We've seen Jackie Nesbitt come on at some serious speed before, so Jackie needs to continue. Come on, Jackie, straight into the back of this group here. Going to be pushing to get that power down. Yeah, nicely done. Gone straight in, back in with that group. Nice riding there. Gets back into the pack there. So Mary O'Shea nicely tucked in here. The group running well at the moment. Our yellow beacon just keeping that pace under control, making sure it ramps at a nice steady speed. It's very easy to go too hard too soon. Look at this, you can just see Pip just shouting at Adela. Adela's absolutely flying at the moment. Just going to see Della Susto just behind. Come on, a push on here, get in with Chloe. The riders spread out all the way around behind from Iona right the way through to our lead back. So just approaching 38 minutes, in fact just going over that 38-minute marker. So Pip Morn just waiting to grab the riders on the way through. Just following Alison Kinlock at the moment, 154 beats per minute, 69 revs per minute, 180 260 watts, just modulating. There's a lot of fluctuation there just to make sure that she keeps this group together. It's really hard work when you're a yellow or a red beacon on the Chaingang. And we said it before, but it does bear repeating. In fact, being a red beacon is as hard work as being on the front of the group. Your TSS score will be almost identical. Research done by Professor Neil Mansfield of Gritty has definitively proven that with 100% success rate at that, mostly because he's only done the test once. So the riders coming through the glass tunnels on the glass bridge here, suspended up over the estuary, coming in back towards the mainland from that volcano that has emerged from the sea, and this group still holding together. Looking pretty smooth at the moment as they come around. They're going to come into this T junction. It's a little bit of a drag up here. So just approaching 24 kilometers at the moment. Right, continue to push. 98 meters of the 134 meters done. So while in excess of 2/3 of the height gain. Our riders though coming back and in towards the S's once again. A bit of deja vu for these riders through here. They've been through once already. Last time they came at this, as they go through, this time they're going to be going through at 4 watts per kilo. Last time they came through from downtown, where some of the original pens were in Wartopia. Now coming through a higher pace. They were going through at 3 last time through here. They're now going through at 4 watts per kilo. So that is a big ask on the way in. The call coming from Alison Kinlock, our beacon. These riders are staying with it though. Nobody losing touch since that call has gone in. And this is going to be about riding smoothly in this group, not letting the gaps go. You can see that pack very tight together as they come around. Nobody wants to be on the back. Nobody wants to be anywhere where any gaps can go as well. Looks like somebody just dumping a burrito on the way through to get rid of that on the roller coasters. Here on some of the slower sections, a good place to dump it actually when you've got a lack of speed on the way through. Just everybody continuing to push. Up over our next riser now. One more dip, one more sweeping right-hand turn, and we're going to be on that run down towards the bridge. Another key break point, another key trigger point. At the moment, Kinlock, our yellow beacon, holding everybody together, waiting to see if anybody else snaps on the way through. But at the moment, everybody holding this pace. Of course, there is a limit to how long our riders can ride at this pace, and it is all down to our yellow beacons. We don't know on commentary or in the organisation when our yellow beacons will call it. It is entirely down to them. It is their call. They're in a position, we'll back 100%, because they are the riders in that ride making that call, and they have to do that decision making on the fly. It allows them to be reactive to the group, to the riders in there. It's one of the reasons why the Chaingang is such a success. And we've got some really experienced beacons from Russ, our multi-time national champion. We've got experienced riders like Alison Kinlock, Emma Martin. We've got all of the riders in that yellow are chosen deliberately. There's a little bit of a selection going on behind the scenes just to make sure we've got riders who can do the business, and it's a very tough call. You've got to physically be fast enough and strong enough to be able to do it as well. Not easy at all. So through we go, and we're going to go in through the line once again. So Kinlock bringing them through. Fastest times in there from the riders that count is from Becky Porter-James, actually on the way through there. So our riders going through, no problems at all. And remember, the call was for just seeing this group rolling the way in. Becky, you're toast. Come on, you're doing good. This is brilliant. So I think it's Becky who's just yo-yoing at the back of the group. Come on, guys. This is about having the time to push. Looks like McKay just dropping back here. So McKay hitting that 43-minute marker. Come on, Becky. Looks like Jackie as well. Come on, this is the squeeze. This is the bit that counts. Come on, there's no excuses for having too many Belgian beers this week, Becky. 3 seconds. Looks like Becky's legs are feeling the pace at the moment. She's got Jackie just in front. Jackie goes past the waterfalls. Becky Porter-James does the same, but the gap is opening, and at the moment it's Clark who's going to have that view back. You can just see the two riders behind. Good going, got to 44 minutes, and it's been a high pace for a while now. Heading for 44 minutes, 26.5k now. The riders continue, and the go has gone. Go. Now is the moment where it is all going to come down to who has got anything left in their legs. That was a long, hard ramp up by our beacon there. And as you can see, the riders are not exploding out of the blocks here today. And I think we've got to say, that is in part just due to that long, prolonged ramp up there. Definitely pushing the riders on to the limit. But look at the gaps that have opened behind now. So once the button was pushed, the speed has picked up and it is being stretched. It's not been pulled to pieces instantly. But we are now starting to see a few people losing ground. Rachel Codd just being distance. I think Michelle Ross also in that same boat. Becky Porter-James Nesbitt doing the same. It looks like Megan Boyd just being distanced here. So Megan 2 seconds up to going to be Lindsay Clark. Clark not on the wheels of Gail. Sam Gale just jumped in. Daisy Freed. Daisy was riding yesterday. Did a storming ride on the WOW DCG yesterday. Absolutely flying. Great ride by Daisy, and Daisy really making a mark here today. Great to see Daisy riding on the gang so well and looking good. Gonna be another good day at the office for Daisy Freer today, I suspect. Tucks in here in with the group, doing a great job staying in some very fast company. So just jumping in at the moment with Josie Park. None of our fast riders on that descent here. So the riders are heading away from those Italian villas. They're going to be making the way down on towards the bridges, up over the boardwalks and in towards the tunnels. They've got the long tunnel run to come, and then the right-hand turn that takes them back across in towards Fuego Flats. We go past the pens, and then we go into that long sprint in. The sprint in, remember, coming into Fuego Flats for the finish is a 500-meter run in, so getting your timing right is key. This is what's left of the initial pack. It has stabilized at the moment, and it looks to me like we are going to get about 14 riders in that leading group. We're just going to do a double check on numbers in a second. I think it's going to be 16 riders by the look of it. Just going to let it stabilize. Just follow Michelle Ross leading this group. So 16 riders, I think, at the moment. Looks like Harvey tucked in here as we go up onto these boardwalks. That chasing group are coming, but I'm not sure they're coming fast enough at the moment. And then, yeah, I think that gap is only going to open out. So chasing group at the moment. We've got Megan Boyd in here. We've got Clark. We've got Rachel Codd in this group. Behind them, the next group forming. This is going to be Jackie Nesbitt and Porter-James. So, Becky, stop watching the live stream. Listen, don't watch. Honest, go get on those wheels. You're doing a great job here. So, Becky Porter-James in with Jackie Nesbitt. Good duo here. They've got Sandra McKay behind. Then it's going to be Adele Suster. Suster's got Postlethwaite and Morn and Chloe Lake in here as well. Great 4 riders in here. They've been working really well together. Then it's going to be Miss Cookie, and then looks like Iona not all that far behind. All these riders really motoring on at the moment. The leading group, though, well, they are still across the road, and it looks to me like our Yellow Beacons decided that they're not trying hard enough here. So looks like Kinlock has gone again to push this up. So here we go. Kinlock at the moment leading this ride out. You can ignore the rider in front. Didn't play the game to start off. It doesn't count in the results. We don't put the fence on. We don't need to. We all know where the front of the ride is. It's here. It's with our Yellow Beacon. And it looks like group of 3 just starting to stretch now. If Foxy, Daisy Freer, and Alison Kinlock's put a little bit of a squeeze in here, they could open a nice little gap here. Let's have a little bit of a check. They are just squeezing, and I think we're going to see a sneaky move off the front. Has anybody spotted it? Oh, look at this. Wise heads have seen this. No guessing who was on that one. It was Vicky Jones, one of our really tactically astute riders in there. She knew not to let that group go. She was straight on to the wheels there. Vicky, one of our really smart riders. We know she's always going to be on the case when that happens. On the way through, Vicky just tucked in here. I'll tell you something else. Another rider doing an absolutely storming ride. It is Joanne Lee. Joanne tucks into this group. Another rider who's improved week on week. Joanne doing a cracking ride again here. In with this leading group as they come through. And this group still holding together at the moment. So the gang are working well together. Some nice packs behind Foxy putting out there. Definitely, I'd agree 100% with that. There's some great work being done by the groups behind. It is a ride which favours those people who know how to jump in a group and to draft. But the routes are chosen. I was speaking with Emma last week about this. The routes chosen so that we train and everybody learns how to ride in the different ways that the riders respond, using different wheels and different courses to develop different skills in the riders. That is really key, because the riders on Zwift really key. Got to say a massive congratulations, Emma, not with us tonight, and not DSing yesterday, in fact, but just confident to let the team go. The team she's been DSing, that is the Aeonian Chicas, taking the overall win in the women's race league in their category. So congratulations to them. Second in the race last night, and taking the top spot overall. So congratulations, Emma, and all of her team taking away the win in their category in the race league last night. So the gang continue to push on at a good pace here. We're under the tunnels. We're soon going to hit the ramp. Still riding with Lee, and you can see we're just going to make our way up here. Ignore the rider in front. They've been they went for an early flyer, and therefore don't count. If you play the game, you get covered. If you don't play the game, you get shunned. Easy. It's all the instructions when you sign up. Google Translate's great if you don't understand what I've written. Or you can always message us. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up with Emma on that. Becky Porter James, are we nearly there yet? We are. We're not far away. And our leaders are even closer still, because they are about to take the right-hand turn and head back towards the Fuego Flats. So, no moves being made at the moment. Limited options actually on the way through here for our riders to make a choice. I'm going to take the right-hand turn coming up about now, and head on to the Dustin Kinlock again. Just pulling the pace up, just making sure these riders are really having to work here. So Alison Kinlock kicks on here. Looks like Parker spotted her here though. So looks like Josie Park, well aware of that. She moves up, Hellowell moves up, Foxy moves up here. Everybody across the road. The pack is on its way, and they are absolutely flying. You can see downtown in the background. We're not going there again. This is all about the run in through to the finish in here. And as you can see, this group, they are across the roadway. So let's see who's going to be able to take this out. They're absolutely flying at the moment. So this group is working well. They've got the gap at the moment. Kinlock tucked in here. Parky's winding it up on the front as well. And this is going to be about who's got the pace to finish the Chaingang off as they come in to the line. A little bit further back, group number 2. This is group 2. They're turning off onto the bridgeway. They're not all that far behind. You can see they've very quickly got off the tunnels and are heading in that same direction. Behind them, then Jackie and Becky Porter-James. They're about to take that right-hand turn. Then it's going to be Postlethwaite, Suster, Morn, and Lacey. Then it's going to be Miss Cookie. Then it's going to be Iona. They're all well on the way around this circuit, but our leaders, well, they are up the road. We are in with Isla Easto, tucked in with this leading group. Remember, this is going to be about that final run into the finish. Who's your money on tonight? We don't have Joe Blackbird Skinner in here. We've not got Izzy Torrey. They are our regular winners. I think all of them with exceptionally sore. Listen, this is an opportunity for one of our riders to take a win. Now, can they beat our Yellow Beacon? Alison Kinlock is a fearsome competitor. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Alison. I've had the absolute pleasure of mountain biking around Derby Forest with Alison and watch her ride off into the distance on the climbs every single time we went uphill. I tell you something, she's a absolute class act on the bike. But we have a field full of class riders in here who are all going to want that to win as they come in. Who's got the sprint kick? Who can get their timing right? Who knows this inside out? Will it be Foxy today? Always a very quick rider. Vicky has been riding well as well. Vicky Jones, always a rider who knows when to kick their Crabtree, improving with every single ride. Will it be one of the tactic team who are able to stretch this out on the way through? Well, we're going to see. We are coming in. We've gone past our pens. They're in the distance behind our riders. So just get a little bit of a view of them just hidden over behind the riders. They're through past those pens. The chasing group coming into this same area. Now, the question for me will be, are we going to see a long-range attack from somebody who can't sprint? Are we going to see a massive kick in as we come into the loop? Are we going to see a kick off the loop, or are the riders going to wait until they can see the rock arch, which is an incredibly dangerous thing to do? I'll tell you something, this is where you want to have the fastest bike you can, because this is a route that suits disc wheels for sure. And it's got that little bit of an advantage around the entire route here. There's very few places it doesn't have the advantage over anything. That includes the Tron. So having a fast bike here was going to make a difference. Now, looks like Kinlock just starting to wind the pace up here. Is she going to string it out to stop the sprinters? I tell you something, I wouldn't want to bet against this rider. Here we go. So Daisy Freer, has she been watching the foot? She's ridden this with the DCG. She's gone for this. Come on, Daisy. This is what we want to see. We want to see the attacks going in. Is anybody going to answer this? Daisy Freer is gone, and they're not picking this up. They've not gone for her. The gap's got to 4 seconds. It's now 5 seconds. Isla Easto rolls to the front. Vicky Jones does the same here. It's at 5 seconds, and we are now into our loop. This is a long sweeping turn. Has Freer gone too early? She's gone at about the same place we saw Isaac Oliver go the other day, and Isaac Oliver put a decent-sized gap in here but was closed down. Now can Freer do something that Isaac couldn't do and keep them clear all the way in to the finish? They're all looking at each other, and that gap is setting at 7 seconds. Well, Daisy's ridden Chaingang after Chaingang after Chaingang. She's been getting quicker and quicker and quicker. A talented rider from the northeast. She's going to come out of this loop with a gap. What time gap is she going to have? It's going to be 8 seconds. It's 9 seconds. They're going to be riding for second place at this rate. They're into the final 500 metres. I said that again, the final 500 metres. We're into that final countdown, and Daisy Freer has gone. The response is starting to come now. They're starting to chase. We can see the diminutive figure of Freer up in front. I think she's got this. She's got a huge gap on them. They're waiting to kick, and now they start to go, but it's going to be too little too late. because Daisy Freer, she can watch them in a rearview mirror coming for her. It's going to be Vicky Jones, I think, who's coming behind, but it's not going to make it. This is going to be Daisy Freer's day. What a ride by Daisy. She takes the victory on the Chaingang. Well deserved after all those rides. It's going to be Vicky Jones who takes second place. Craig Crabtree takes third place. It's Isla Easto in fourth. It's Harvey in fifth. Kinlock in sixth. Hellawell in seventh. Then Park in eighth. Gell in nine. Foxy in 10, I think, on the way through. I'm going to let you guys work it out beyond there. What a ride on the way through. But absolutely big kudos to the rider taking that. That was to Daisy Freer. Alison Kinlock, a massive thank you to our yellow beacon. Great leading once again. A huge rump on the way through for these riders as they've come in and through. Now we're going to just drop back to our riders. I think we just seen Joanne Lee on the way through. That was super fast. Isla Easto. Best result, fourth place for her. Fantastic ride by Isla on the way through. Claire Crabtree, I think that's going to be Claire's best result, I think, on the way through. Great riding by the riders on there. Thank you, everybody who played the game on the way through. Remember, it's all about staying on there. Oh, Joanne Lee, a dropout at 35.2. Joanne, you need to talk to me about the tech. Give me a call. I'm sure somewhere you've got Emma's number on mine. Give us a shout. We can sort tech dropouts. They are almost always fixable. In fact, they are always fixable. We can always sort them. We can always sort them without spending loads of money usually. Right, in with Megan Boyd now. Megan was known as the track sprinter in a day. Very fast ride. In fact, all of the Boyd family very fast on the Manchester Velodrome. Has she got the kick to take this out? She's got Ross in here, Michelle Ross, Lindsay Clark in as well. Now the three riders we're going to be looking at, three riders who played the game on the way through. Clark is leading them out here. Are we going to see Megan have the speed to jump on? Come on, Megan. Are you going to do it? Remember, we finish at the arch as we come in and through. I think it's going to be Lindsay who's just winding it up. And she's going to do this. She's sat on the front. She winds it up at the right time. It's going to be Lindsay Clark who's going to get the roll in and through just ahead of Ross and Boyd. Time to spin those legs out on the way through. Not all that far behind. It's going to be Becky Porter-James just ahead of Jackie. Winding it in to that finish line underneath the archway. Great riding, Becky, once again. Great to see everybody improving. Lots of new FTPs as well. No surprises there. That was a cracking run. Great ride there by Jackie after having to chase on. Brilliant work, Jackie. So hope to see you again. And so we're going to drop back to Sharon and Pip. So remember, spin the legs out. Get them rolling. Pip Morn leading this out at the moment of this duo. Sharon and Pip on the run in for the finish as you go over that orange line. They've just gone over its 500 metres and counting. The riders just about starting to be able to see the archway. Lesson learned, don't challenge Alison. She will do it under the hour. Indeed. I tell you, she's an absolutely superb egg. She knows exactly what she's doing, does Alison Kinlock. So our next rider's on the way in. It's going to be Pip Mormon, I think, has got the gap now. So Pip on the way through. Great to see Pip coming through. Pip, one of our beacons later on as we run in through February and in through March. And great to have Pip on board. Fantastic stuff. Making the way in through. So well done, Pip. Great riding by Sharon as well. Sharon Postlewaite coming through in on the way in to the finish. Great ride, Sharon. Well done. Going to drop back a little bit further. On to this run will be Lacey. So this is going to be Chloe Lacey on her way in to the finish. Chloe going to be our next finisher here in the blue there. And going to be just ahead of Del Suster. So Lacey just coming through to the arch under the shadow. She goes coming up to the line. And it's going to be spin down time for Chloe, just ahead of Adele Suster. Suster, you know, has been ticking up some points, some drops points on the Chaingang as she makes her way in and through. So great riding on the way through by our riders. We still have riders out on course, and we do always try and make sure we cover everybody on the way in and through the finish. And in fact, our next rider is due to be the one and only Miss Cookie, who is in the desert. You'll need something to hydrate in the desert, Miss Cookie. So let's jump back in quickly whilst we watch Miss Cookie just over there, just making her way in. So don't forget, guys, aim of the game, stay around yellow when the go happens. Try and stay with it as long as you can. Try and take that victory, and what a victory we saw for Daisy Freer. Congratulations, Daisy. You've been putting in the miles, you've been putting in the riding on a Zwift, you've been riding the Chaingang regularly up there on the DCG and the WOW DCG. Paid off tonight, taking a victory tonight. Great ride by the youngster. Great sprint finish on the way through. Vicky Jones showing she's still got absolutely class to burn and speed to burn. And it can't be long before Vicky's going to be taking that victory as well. Gotta say, great to see people celebrating 3rd, 4th, 5th places. Alison Kinlock pushing all the way to the line. Hannah Easter with the best result. Some new FTP on the way through as well. Guys, brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. It's what the Chaingang is all about. Going back, looking after the riders, coming forward. That's what we want to see. That's why we do it. That's why we put the hours in behind the scenes to make it work. And gotta say a big thank you, Emma, picking this route. I had my reservations when she picked it, but I should have known better. Choosing this route to add to complement the programme in. I'm privy to all of the routes now to the end of the WOW DCG. That's at the end of March. The DCG, the Tuesdays and Thursdays, will run to the end of April. And I've got to say, there's some absolute cracking routes in there. They're routes where people can learn a little bit more, but also where they can learn just a little bit and put it into where they've seen it, what they've learned, put it into action and actually make the most of what they've been riding. And that's going to pay off over the next few weeks as we run in towards the end. Don't forget, of course, as part of Continental February, we are running all the way through. We've got a great competition coming up. We are going to be giving away pairs of tyres to members of the DCG gang. So if you are a member of the DCG gang, like Miss Cookie is, then don't forget you're going to be in with a chance. The odds at the moment, I haven't actually worked it out, but I suspect it's probably going to be a 1 in 10 chance of winning a fantastic prize that's going to be on there. The product is so new, it's not launched to the public. It is currently embargoed. Can't tell you what it is. That is how new the product is. That is what we're going to be giving away, and it's going to be going out. The first stocks in the UK are here, and there is some allocated out to members of the DCG gang. They will be coming out to you basically as soon as you win them. It's that straightforward. That's going to be at the end of the month. And I've got to say a massive thank you to Continental for this absolutely fantastic prize. It is so new. It is literally just about to launch publicly. It might hit the stands in the next 2 or 3 days. I'm hoping so, because I'm going to send the emails out to the members over the weekend. And when they arrive, guys, you're going to know about the product before it goes public. If that's not the case, and, well, you know, we'll have broken the embargo. It won't be in fact, it will be the first embargo we've broken. But you know what? It's the members of the DCG gang, and I think we can trust you lot to look after it. It's not like we're going to be broadcasting it out to everybody. Of course we are. And that will be drawn live on the show. They're going to be coming out next week. It's probably going to be at the back end of next week, probably Thursday show. We've just got to get those details confirmed. So don't forget, guys, join up if you can. Make the most of the discounts from the guys up there. Whether you're at Nonnas for Valentine's, whether you're getting the best shades in the business from 1080, fueling up with OTE, equipping yourself with Gritty Kit. It is great to get those discounts from the team. Our next rider to finish, it will be one of the members of the DCG gang. It is the one and only Miss Cookie on her way in to the finish. So Sarah going to make her way in underneath the finishing line. Well done, Sarah. I think that is a record in with the gang. in terms of time and distance to stay in with that leading pack. And that was a pretty hard ramp tonight. It kept on ramping and ramping and ramping. So brilliant stuff today. Congratulations, well done. And that means we're going to drop back to the last rider on course, which is going to be Iona. So Iona Vitlib on her way into the finish. Iona in the desert as well. So as Iona makes her way in, just do a little bit more housekeeping on the way through. So quick reminder, guys, get signed up. Make sure you read the rules. Make sure you read what we are going to do on the ride. It's all down there. If you've got any questions, jump on the Facebook page. The Donny Chaingang on Facebook has got, best part, well, it's heading for 3,000 members now. Everybody has to answer questions on the way through. You can't just join. It's not full of spam bots. We weed those out. It's part of what we do as part of that gang. And by doing that, it means it's a great resource for help, advice, stories. Show us, publish your FTP. Show us what power you've just put down. Tell us how good it is. Tell everybody about it. Show us just how much fun you've had on the game. Make sure that you jump on social media and push it out there. It all helps us get more of these guys and get them on board to look after the members of the gang. And the members of the gang help us look after you on the Facebook page. See how it works? Clever, isn't it? Now, next rider coming in is going to be Iona, just making her way around the turns, just onto the loop there, just keeping an eye on our screens over there to see how she's doing. Currently on that slight descent, -1%. So whilst Iona's on that loop around coming in, just a quick reminder, get signed up, make sure you sign in. Join the gang if you can. We'd love to reward you for donating. Individual donations, great. If you want to join for the month or to the end of the season, the scale as prices goes down as the months go by. Just a quick reminder, guys, please make sure you do that before the end of the month. It's really important because that then means that the automated emails come out to you without us individually emailing all the gang. It's not that we don't want to do it. It's just there's only so many hours in the day. Quick reminder, next week we'll be coming to you from the old farmhouse studios rather than the old beer cellar studios. And that is because we are taking a shift across La Manche over the channel and going to be in France, going to be picking up some kit on the way down. So we should be with you for the Chaingangs. In the meantime, of course, don't forget that we're going to be around on Sunday. We've got the esports coverage coming out to you. You can see the details on the Full Speed Events social media feed. That's at Full Speed Events, or you can search at Biking Emma or at Matt Fix the Pain. And don't forget, of course, whilst you're on there, make sure you give Fonzie a follow, particularly the new bike flights that Russ has developed, and that is moving from strength to strength at the moment. Don't forget, of course, to give the Donny Chaingang a follow whilst you're on the way through, and make sure you tag us in those social media posts. We want to see how much fun you've been having. We are going to be back tomorrow for the Donny Chaingang. Now, we were for the Open Chaingang in Innsbruck Ring on Tuesday. Tomorrow, we're on a biggie. It's the Innsbruck Mountain After Party. It is as big as it sounds. I've left gaps whilst I put my brain in gear to remember exactly the title. It is indeed Innsbruck Climb After Party. You will need to have your climbing legs and climbing bikes on if you want to feature and want to feature at the top. But we have 3 laps of Innsbruck Ring before we go on to the climb. So it's going to be a tough day at the office for many. We're going to be back with Russ for that. In the meantime, let's head across and watch Iona coming into the line. You see the rock arch coming up. So Iona pushing on and making her way in. Great riding by Iona. You see that heart rate 157 beats per minute, keeping those revs nice and high. So great riding by Iona Vitlib, who is going to be our next finisher on the Chaingang. So we're going to leave Iona to warm down to that blue banner. And that means it just remains for me to say, please, guys, make sure you support the people who support the gang. They're all over there. You know who they are. They are the best in the business as far as we're concerned. And hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. From me, Matt Payne, from Alison Kinlock, our amazing yellow beacon, from Emma, who stitches the whole of the WoW DCG together, from Russ and all of the gang. Stay safe. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.